Hello everyone, welcome back to the Java tutorial series. In this video, we will learn about loops in Java, its syntax, and how it is used to execute a block of code repeatedly. So mainly, we will be looking for loop in this video. So let's get started. So loops in Java. So to execute a block of code multiple times, instead of writing n number of lines, we use a concept of loops. So there are three types of loop: for loop, while loop, and do while loop. So in the later videos, we will see other two types of loop, while and do while. In this video, we will be going inside, diving deep into the for loop, and we'll be having different examples to have better understanding and clarity. So, what are loops? A loop is used to execute a block of code repeatedly until a specified condition until a specified condition becomes false. Why do we need loops? Imagine we don't have the concept of loops and we want to print hello n number of times. Then we need to write print statements n number of times, which is not worthful. So we can achieve this thing with the help of loops. So this is the example of for loop. So what is the syntax and how it works? We'll see. So types of loops in Java. Java provides three types of loops: for loop, while loop, and do while loop. So what is a for loop? A for loop is used to execute a set of statements multiple times. So we'll be having set of statements and this will be executed multiple times, and it is commonly used when we already know how many times the loop should run. So a for loop is used when we know in advance that how many times the loop should execute. So a for loop consists of three parts, that is initialization, initialization, condition, initialization condition, and update. Update, or we can say increment or decrement. So these are the components. So for now, we should keep in mind there are three components of for loop: initialization, condition, and update. So these three components will be there in each loop, whether it is for loop or while loop or do while loop. In all the three loops, we'll be having these three components: initialization, condition, and update, or increment or decrement. Only the place will change, but all three loops will have these three components. So let's move forward and understand what are these three components and what is the use. So we have loop, let's say for loop, and initialization, then condition, and then increment or decrement, and we'll be having lines of code to repeat and curly braces, close curly braces. So this is the syntax of for loop. So this is the execution flow. How the code will flow for loop. So step 1 is initialization. Executes once. So this step will execute once initialization. For example, int I equals to 0. So this will execute only once. And then next step is condition is checked. So there will be some condition, let's say I less than 5. This is the condition. So this condition will get satisfied. So since initialization I equal to 0, so current value of I is 0. So after initialization, it will move to condition checking phase. It will check I is less than 5. Yes, 0 is less than 5. Then it will execute the lines of code, that is body of the loop. That is in the third step. If true, that means condition is satisfied, then loop body executes. Then step 4, update executes. Then after that, after executing body, it will go to increment. Let's say I plus plus. So it will increase the value of I from, let's say, 0 to 1. Now the value of I is 1. Then again, after increment, it will check the condition whether I is less than 5. If it is condition is satisfied, then again it will execute the body and After that, again it will go for increment and it will increase the value to I equals to 2. Then again it will check the condition 2 is less than 5. Yes, condition is satisfied, condition is true. Then again it will execute the body and again it will go increment. It will increase the value of I to 3. Then after increment again condition checking. Yeah, 3 is less than 5. Yes, correct. Then again it will execute the body. Then again it will go for increment and will increase the value of I to 4. Then again it will check the condition whether 4 is less than 5. Yes, 4 is less than 5. Then again it will execute the body. Then after execution of body again it will go to increment and it will increase the value I equals to 5. After increment again it will go to check the condition, that is 5 less than 5. Is condition true? No, condition is false. So when condition is false, it will come out of the loop here. So this is the whole execution flow of a for loop. I know here little bit messy. I will explain this thing in detail in this video. Let's move on. So this one is example of a for loop. So as we already know, a for loop contains three parts: initialization, for initialization, let me write here, for initialization, and next is condition, and last is increment, or it can be decrement also. So these are the three components of a for loop. So in this example, initialization is int I equals to 1. This is initialization. So we have variable I with value 1. So first step is completed. Now second step after initialization is it will check the condition. So initialization will happen only once. Now you can forget the initialization. Only we have to play with condition, increment operator, and the body of the loop. So initialization is done. Now it is moving to condition. So here I equal to 1. Now it is checking the condition whether 1 is less than or equals to 5. If it is true, then it will execute the body. So if condition is true, then it will execute the body of a loop. And if body of loop is executed, then again it will go to increment or decrement. So variable So after execution of body means I equal to 1, initialization, then condition check 1 less than equal to 5. Yes, correct. Then it will execute the body. That means it will print 1. So it will print 1. After execution of body, it will go to increment or decrement. So in this example, it is increment. I plus plus means it will increase the value of I with 1. So current value of I is 1. It will increase to 2. Now the value of I is 2 after increment. Now it will check whether the incremented I value satisfy the condition or not. So value of I is 2. So it will check the condition whether 2 less than or equals to 5. Yes, condition is true. So it will execute the body. That is, it will print I and value of I is 2. Then after printing execution of body, it will again go to increment and the value of I will become 3. After increment, now it will go for a condition check. So here, after increment, it will go for a condition check. So, condition check, 3 is less than or equal to 5. Yes, it is correct. So, it will execute the body. And what is inside the body of a loop? Print statement of the current value of I. So, it will print 3. Then again, after execution of body, it will go to increment of I. Then again, value of I will become 4. Now, after increment, it will go to check the condition. So, 4 is less than equals to 5. Condition is satisfied. Yes, it is true. 4 is less than or equals to 5. Then it will execute the body. So, it will print the current value of I, that is 4. 4 is printed. Then again, after execution of body, it will go to increment. Then the value of I will become 5. Then after increment of I, it will again check the condition 5 less than equals to 5. Is this condition true? Yes, condition is true. If condition is true, then again it will execute the body. Again it will print the current value of I, that is 5. After execution of body, again it will go to increment and I will get increased by 1, that is 6. After increment, again it will go for a condition check. So 6 less than or equals to 5. Is this condition true? No. This condition 6 less than or equals to 5 is not true. Not true. So it will come out of loop and from condition check it will directly come out of loop. it will not execute body. So this is the whole flow, execution flow of for loop. So initialization will be happening only first time. Then from initialization, it will go to condition check. And then if condition is true, then it will go to body of a loop. After execution of body, it will go to increment, then again condition check, then body, then increment, then condition check. So this loop will continue until the condition is true. When the condition becomes false, it will directly come out of loop, and here end of for loop. So the initialization runs only once. The condition is checked before every iteration. If it is true, the loop body executes, and then the loop variable is updated. So let's go to IntelliJ and see different examples for having more clarity on for loop. So we are trying to understand for loop. So let's take an example for, let's first write the initialization semicolon condition semicolon and then increment, or it can be decrement and semicolon, not semicolon here, not required. Then curly braces open and close and body of loop. So this is the syntax of a for loop. We'll comment this out just for understanding and revision. I have written. So let's take one example. I will take the same example for getting more clarity. So initialization, as you remember, we have learned about initialization. So previously we used to initialize some variable like int age equals to 25. Like that we used to initialize previously. So same initialization we are doing inside for loop. So int I equals to 1. So instead of age, we have written here variable name as I. So initialization is done. Now we need to provide the condition which should be satisfied, which should be true. So until the condition is satisfied, the loop will occur. So let's say I less than or equals to 3. And condition is also done. Now we need to provide increment or decrement. So since this is first example, we'll go for increment I plus plus and curly braces. So initialization is clear, condition is also clear. increment and decrement, as we have learned in the previous videos, the increment and decrement operator. So I plus plus, or here if I give example, age plus plus is nothing but age equals to age plus 1. So if value of age is 25, it will get increased to 26. So this is increment operator. So the same way we have done here I plus plus, that is increment operator. So here we will add body of a loop. So here this is the body of the loop. Inside curly braces of for loop, we call it as body of the loop. Body of the for loop. So let's write some statements. Let's say print the value of I. So we will print the value of I. So until when we will print the value of I? So let's say before loop, let's say I want to print dot out dot println and say hello. Suppose I want to print hello 3 times. So before loop, what we will do, we'll simply write this statement 3 times. That's how we used to print hello 3 times. But now we learned the concept of for loop. So we don't need to write n number of times the print statement or whatever code we want to execute repeatedly. We can achieve that thing with the help of loop. So we are looking for loop. So here instead of I can write hello. Now we already know the flow of execution. So execution flow of for loop we already discussed. Initialization, then initialization is the only one-time job. Then next, check condition, then execute body of loop, then do increment, then again condition check, and it will go on. So since here initialization we have done with I equals to 1, so let's track the current value of I. Current value of I. So we have done the initialization, that is first step. So current value is what? Current value is 1. Then what is the next step of the execution flow? Next step is check condition. So what is the condition here? I less than equals to 3. And what is the current value of I? That is 1. So condition is true or false? That is 1 less than equals to 3. Condition is true. If condition is true, then execute body of a loop. So it will go inside and it will print hello. So let's say output will print hello. Then after execution of body, what is the next step? It will go for increment. So it will go here I++. But what is the current value of I? Current value of I is 1. So it will increase to value 2. Or let's make it here only. Now the current value of I is 2. Then after increment, it will, what is the next step? Next step, again it will go for a condition check. That is I less than equals to 3. Yes, 2 less than equals to 3. Correct. So if condition is true, it will execute body. Then again it will print hello. Then after execution of body of a loop, again it will do increment. So current value of I is 2, it will get increased to 3 since we are doing I++. Then after increment, again it will check the condition I less than equals to 3. That means 3 less than equals to 3. Yes, condition is true. Again it will print hello. After execution of body of a loop, again it will go for increment. Now the current value of I will increase by 1, that is 4. Then after increment, again it will check the condition I less than equals to 3. What is the value of I? 4. 4 less than equals to 3. Whether this condition is true or false. Now the condition becomes false. So it will come out of the loop and loop will exit. So what is the output? 3 times hello. So let me comment this line. Let's run the program and verify it. So in the output here in the console, we can see 3 times hello. As we discussed, the output will be 3 times hello. So this is the whole execution flow. We can have different examples. I will do it fast now, since we have understood. So for, we'll take example, let's say print even numbers. So I hope you realized the power of loop. Previously we used to write 3 times print statements. And this is like 3. Suppose what if we want to print 100 times, 1000 times? hello, then we cannot simply write. So with the power of loop, with the logic, just a single line what we want to repeat, and with the help of loop, the same task we can achieve. Okay, I hope you understood. Now let's move on to next example, that is print even numbers. So for initialization, let's int I equals to 2. This will happen first time, only once. So we have the value I equals to 2 and condition I less than equals to 10. I plus equals to 2 and I will print the value I. So here you can see one difference is here. In increment, I am incrementing on each iteration with 2. In previous example, it was 1. So every time the value of I was increasing by 1, but this time the value of I will increase in each iteration with value 2. So let's quickly understand what should be the output. So I equal to 2, then it will check the condition 2 less than equal to 10. Yes, it will execute the body and it will print 2. Then after execution it will do the increment. Now the current value of I is 4. After increment it will go condition check 4 less than equals to 10. Yes, it will execute body. It will print 4. After execution of body, it will go to increment. 4 will become 6 now. Again condition check. 6 less than equal to 10. Yes, correct. Again it will execute the body. It will print 6. After execution of body, again it will increment by 2. 6 will become 8. Again condition check. 8 is less than equal to 10. Yes, correct. Again it will execute the body. It will print 8. Again it will do increment. Now the value of I becomes 10. Again it will do the condition check. 10 less than equals to 10. Yes, condition is true. Again it will print 10. After execution of body, again it will increment. I will become now 12. Again it will do the condition check whether 12 is less than equals to 10. So condition becomes false here and it will come out of the loop. So the output will be 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. Let's verify by running. Let me comment first example. Let's run the program and see the output. So in the output we can see it is the same, one and same which we calculated. So the reason why I am explaining this much deep, it will help you in the interviews and also building your logical skills and solving coding problems, which we will do in the later part of the videos. Try doing this example by yourself once or twice. You will get confidence in for loop. And once you get confidence in for loop, the other loops are also likewise. So in this example, the loop variable increases by 2 during each iteration, resulting in even numbers printed. So 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10 are the even numbers. That was our agenda, print even numbers. So let's take another example of decrementing for loop. So far we have seen examples for increment loop. So for I want you to practice once or twice, one or two examples for increment. Then you can pause the video and again resume for decrementing for loop. So this is also one and same, the format initialization. So we will do the initialization int I equals to 5, then I greater than or equals to 1 and I minus minus. And inside body of the loop will print the value of I. So what we are doing here? What will be the output? So we have initialized the variable I with value 5. Then it will do the condition check whether 5 is greater than equals to 1. Yes, it is equal greater than and equals to 1. Yeah, condition is true. Then it will execute body, that is print value of I, that is 5. Then again it will go for update and it will decrease the value of I by 1. Here we have done I minus minus. That means the value of I will decrease by 1. So the value of I will become 4. And after decrementing, again it will do the condition check. So 4 is greater than or equals to 1. Yes, condition is true. Then again it will execute the body and it will print 4. Then again it will decrease the value of I 3. Again condition check. 3 greater than or equals to 1. Yes, true. 3. It will print. Then again after execution of body, it will go for decrement. Again value of I will become 2. Again condition check. 2 greater than or equals to 1. Yeah, condition is true. Again it will execute body and it will print 2. Then again it will decrement by 1. Value of I will become 1. Again it will do the condition check. 1 is greater than or equals to 1. Yes, condition is true. Again it will print the value of I. Now again it will go and decrease the value of I. I will become 0 now. Now go for a condition check. 0 is greater than or equals to 1. No, this condition will become false and it will come out of the loop. So it will print 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's verify by running the program. I have just commented out the previous example. So in this output we can see it is one and same which we calculated. So after doing practice, by looking at the code itself, you will be able to identify like what will be the output. Since it starting with 5 and value is getting decreased by 1 on each iteration and it is going up to condition check up to 1. Since it is greater than or equals to 1, that means it will go up to 1. So you can guess the output easily that will reduce for each iteration by value 1 and will go up to value 1 since it is greater than or equals to 1. What if the condition would have been I greater than 1 not equal to, means condition will be like I greater than 1, then it will go up to 2 only, it will not go to 1. So based on condition and the increment or decrement operator, we can easily find out the output. But for initial stage, we should go with the flow and try to calculate the output. So common uses of for loop. For loops are widely used in Java programs for repetitive tasks such as processing arrays, generating patterns, and performing calculations. So these are the use cases of for loop. So let's summarize what we have learned so far. So today we learned about the for loop and its syntax, and we have seen the flow of execution with different practical examples. So that's all for this video. I hope this tutorial helped you understand the for loop. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.